everyone. Sorry for the bad angle and for the weird lighting, although it's not as bad as last time. This week we're discussing tragic comedy, which in my last discussion I called a tragifarce, which also, if that is not actually a term, I'm still going to copyright it for myself. So, The Tempest is, well, it's a storm of a play, obviously. Obviously. And it's always been one that I've really, really liked, and it's got a lot of meaning besides the literal storms and the storms of the mind and all these people just back and forth, back and forth. Da da da. You also have the quite literal storm that swamps everyone. And there's also wonderful meanings like the name Miranda, which, as rightly pointed out, comes from the words for mirror, as in a reflection, and wonder. And just like people, the hand of God and its many, many wonders can be very, very, very stormy and sometimes very, very oof and very, very, very destructive. And then you have this glorious, glorious person like Miranda who is reflected. All of her good tends to reflect back on her. She has this, she is basically also sort of an auntie or a mother to all around her. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the scene that I picked. So you have these sad elements and the jealousies and the anger and people who cannot, for the life of them, allow for free will because it might just basically swamp their little figurative ships, and they might not get the power that they so desire. Miranda, of course, is quoted in the titular book, Brave New World. Oh, Brave New World, and such people in it. It's so complicated because while at one point you want to see Miranda as this tough fighting girl who kicks butt and, is not the classic little lady sitting at home waiting for the events to unfold. Sorry. A lot of old literature makes me kind of beg people to, hey, I've got an idea. How about you put on a pair of trousers, you go out there and you do something. Heck, just hike up your skirt, tuck it into the waistband, now you've got a lovely romper. Yeah, tuck it in so that nothing happens. And right, good. Yeah, just like when we were kids and we were wearing long dresses for whatever reason, because it was the 80s and 90s. It was the style to wear the maxi dress up until I was like 15. Yeah, okay. Tuck it on into the waistband. There you go. Now, you've got a lovely short romper and you can kind of get a little bit dirty, go do what you gotta do. No, 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 no. Don't sit at home waiting, wishing your life away. Sit and wait and wish and hoping. Also, in the Tempest, you get absolute evils like Caliban. There's really no room that I have seen in Shakespeare for good to be complicated. That is, yeah, they're generally a really awesome sauce human being, but there's a little bit of darkness, there's a bit of a cloud over their heads. Evil seems to be all evil. That's not the sign you think it is. Whoops. Evil is all bad all the time. Same evil time, same evil bat channel. Good is generally, yeah, sure, they go on adventures and they do their thing, but they're a little bit of a boring kind of goodness, like, well, think, and I hate to say this being a Beth myself, but basically Beth from Little Women, who just kind of wants to do her thing. You know, she's not very scholarly, she's not very adventurous, but she enjoys it when it comes along. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. And is kind of busy, you know, just being Beth-like and suffering quietly. Apologies. I will eventually get into a video regarding how I feel about Beth from Little Women and how, yeah, she's a bit of an angel, but she is as boring as HE double hockey sticks. Honey, 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 don't suffer in silence. I know, you're an angel, you're a dear, but seriously, it's okay to, if something's not right, it is perfectly acceptable to say something is not right, to want to change the course of what you're looking into, and there are some things that can't be changed. But I don't feel like sitting, waiting, wishing, hoping, and being the perfect little Western depiction of an angel is really all that awesome. So, okay, back to the story of the Tempest. So you have all evil. You have Caliban. He is a monster. He might as well have a green scally face and a forked tongue. All the better to frighten you with, my dear. You have our Mirror of Wonders, who is lovely, and it shows, and everyone loves her, except apparently Caliban, because he can't love anyone. Because, you know, he's evil. And he has nefarious plans for his for the Mirror of Wonders, who his little heart, it gets happy. And if Miranda is Eve, he pretty much wants to be her Adam, but is basically more, he's a bit more like the depiction of Lilith as shown in many documents where, I mean, she's not a perfect little lady. She's not sitting back, sitting, waiting, wishing, hoping. She's out doing things, and, you know, it's not ladylike Lilith. You really can't do that. You need to be a lady. Okay? Sometimes it's okay to be a bit of a Lilith. And I am saying this with that, you know, I really feel weirded out at the basic depictions of good as all good and extremely boring, and bad as all bad and just, you might as well just paint them green, put a sign on them that says, I am a terrible human being. There's no... There is really no subtlety. These villains are not subtle. They are not, working behind the scenes, although Richard III tries to. Sometimes they can be mischievous, and mischievous can also work in a good character. Sure. I mean, they're angels. But they also enjoy rucking up their skirts and having a good time here and there. Don't be afraid to ruck up your skirt and have a good time here and there. Yeah, I mean. So anyway. So in the Tempest, you also have certain storms that would have been even bigger storms back in the days of Shakespeare. For example, rape. The idea that now she's ruined. We can't find a guy to marry her in good conscience. She's ruined. So, okay, first of all, she wasn't there. And for the rapist, it wasn't about the sex. It was about the power that he felt like he could have over his victim. Being a victim doesn't sit right. The ancient, antique idea of the fallen woman, but she's really nice. She's just, tainted. We'll just, take the old idea of heraldry and we'll put a black mark on her shield. For the bastards. There actually was, a mark for knightly bastards, the sons of kings and things like that, who were conceived on the quote-unquote wrong side of the blanket. So we'll just, we'll put that there. Right? Good. Especially if said rape caused an itty-bitty baby that, whoops. Well, who will marry her now? Well, good gracious. Nowadays, it's, you still have these old ideas about how you should fight, kick, claw, and scratch. And some people do. But also you have these old ideas where the woman is perpetually a victim. What I love about Miranda is that she does not let herself become the perfect Western depiction of an angel who just sits there and lets things happen around her. Even when she's almost raped, she kicks Tuchus. And it's marvelous to see. So, in a way, I mean, Shakespeare is showing some ideas that were ahead of his time, like, no, these girls can kick some serious Tuchus. He wouldn't say Tuchus, but these girls can kick it. Go girl. Go girl. It's your birthday. So, you have all that. Now, in the context of the other tragic comedies, we've had Lady Macbeth, who, at the beginning, also kicked some serious Tuchus. You have the Three Witches, who, the hags are basically an entity unto themselves. They're definitely not going to fit into a nice town. They're not going to really be respected unless, of course, you need cough medicine, something for your toothache, a bit like executioners of old. You might not have a person that you need to execute, but you might have, a really bad toothache. You might have just been having a really rough time. You might have a weird rash. So you might go to them because they'll actually be mixing up medications. Yeah, executioners actually whipped up certain medications and sold little delicacies to people that would come to them. Probably you wouldn't want to admit that you went to the town hag for toothache powder, or to the executioner for something involving wax that came out of something that you don't want to talk about, or toothache powder or something along that line. But they had multiple places. So the hags in Macbeth, they're not your perfect little Western depiction of an angel. They're not ladies. They're ladies, but they're not ladies. And they have their thing. And the fun thing with them that I've always loved is that the "When shall we three meet again" speech can be sung to "Hark the Herald Angels Sing." Now I'm going to try, and I'm sorry in advance because I did not warm up. La la la. When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, and in rain. That is one of my favorite parts of Macbeth. Now, basically, you have your unladylike ladies of various types. You have the warty crone. You have the literal lady. She is a lady of the realm. I guess she probably wears like a tiny tiara. Because tiaras, tiny tiaras are the best. She has her brocade, and she has her gold, and she is dripping with jewels. You have your young princesses. You have your young rich girls like Juliet. Very, very bad at giving information that could probably save a lot of time and a lot of death. Like, "Dear Romeo, I'm not really dead. But, come quick. I haven't eaten in a few days. Getting a bit peckish. Love, Juliet." People in Shakespearean plays, men and women that I have seen, are really, really crap at sending messages. Yo. You have a plan. You are attempting to do something to change the course. Send a letter. Even if it has to go through someone else, "Hi, I'm not really dead. Hi, so I've got this cunning plan." Because apparently we're in an episode of Blackadder. So sometimes even the girls who aren't just sitting on their tookuses and just letting the world go by, sitting, waiting, wishing, hoping, need to learn how to communicate. That's one of the biggest things, is that lovers and people trying to change the course cannot communicate in Shakespeare for some reason, even though they've got a really awesome playwright who could probably write them something like, "Hi, I'm not really dead." Shh, don't tell my parents. Get me out of here. In Richard III, you have people so busy planning, and of course they're written as so inhumanly evil. That it's very difficult to believe, let alone see them as intelligent, because they're kind of purposefully written as being rather planning. They love to plan. Oh, they love to plan. They're the kind of people that would buy a daily planner and fill it with stickers and all sorts of wonderful things, but never really act on, I don't know, never really act on the idea of doing anything. Well, I really should go back to school. I'd like to get my engineering degree. Um, so I'll make a plan to, or I should probably go on a date with my friend Frank. Hi, Frank. There's no Frank. But I should probably take Frank on a date, and then you never follow through because, I don't know, you're tired. You're thinking about it. You're thinking of picking up the phone. Never do, but you've written that in your pretty planner. Yeah, that's the kind of people these people are. They have no follow through. Their main follow through is sword starts here, sword end there, you're in the middle of it. Yeah. And sometimes the only people who are doing things are people who literally can't communicate, like Lavinia. So, among the many similarities, cannot communicate, come up with fantastic plans, and somehow really suck at actually telling people about the plans. Okay, so here's what we do, dudes. We're gonna go here, here, and here. Right. Now, what we're gonna do then is we're gonna have some porridge, and then we are going to go kick some butt over in Farthingay, and then we'll meet back here for lunch. We're gonna have a little bit of meat, and we're gonna have some lamb. It'll be awesome sauce. We can talk about it then. How's your wife, Bill? Awesome. Great. And so on and so forth. They, for some reason, they get stuck after the breakfast porridge. They start with the plan, going into the castle and yar. Yar. But because they have somehow forgotten the idea of thinking things through past the whole point of this'll be really cool, they never really get anywhere. So sometimes the evil dude is actually the brainiest person of the bunch. No. This is what I want, and I'm gonna get it. First things first, we're gonna write a letter to and we're gonna tell him, which is also a bad idea. Don't write down your crimes. If you are attempting to carry out a crime, please don't write it down. Or do, because that way you get caught. But you also look like an idiot. A lot of these people, from Macbeth all the way down, there is always an absolute idiot in the mix, which is seriously bad. Or the only likable character is killed off, like Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet. He is literally the only likable character. I love Mercutio. He's a smartass. He knows what he wants, and it's just to have a good time, do his thing. But he also kicks serious butt, and he has a wonderful sense of humor. It's filthy. It's wonderful. So, all together now, don't be an idiot. Don't just be sitting, waiting, wishing, hoping for something to happen. And also, don't be so one-dimensional that, honestly, you're not a human anymore. You're just... you have basically become just a doll-type figure to stick the world's ills upon. From Richard III, which was political in nature, to, yes, Caliban, to Iago in the play that we haven't really talked about, Othello, and so on and so forth. They're just, let's be honest, these guys, they are so one-dimensionally evil, and it's very hard to understand how people are like, oh yeah, that's a great plan, dude. You really fooled me. I die. So that's pretty much the villains of Shakespeare. This is what I have noticed throughout the plays that I've read. Good is extremely good. Bad is extremely bad, but it can be extremely one-dimensional. Those that actually break free of that tend to do better. Break free. Then you have people like the old Duke in As You Like It, who says, the heck with it, and just enjoys his pastoral existence, which is what I love it. I mean, I think that I like his idea. The heck with all this crazy and the backbiting and the fighting. I'm just gonna enjoy the brooks and the streams and the trees, and I'm just gonna, a bit like Odysseus when he first returns to Ithaca and temporarily becomes a shepherd, although he's not going to then kill the dudes wanting his wife's hand in marriage. He's just enjoying himself even after he has been handed a whole big sack of crap. Magic is often portrayed in Shakespeare. You have the three witches, of course. You have, slightly less respectable people handing out medications and being like, yo, try this. That'll work. Friar Lawrence, have you ever thought of writing letters, by the way? Because you're a priest. You should know how to write a letter. I'm pretty sure it's all part... I'm sorry. We had some battery issues. So I'm going to finish with, there's a lot of things that are part and parcel. It always seems like the bad women are far more interesting. It always seems in Shakespeare that no one knows how to write a simple letter saying, hi, this is kind of important, so I'm gonna, I'm sorry, the lighting here is a bit weird. This is kind of important, so I'm just gonna tell you now, I'm okay, I'm safe, missing you, bored out of my wits. There are really fascinating women, but many of them have a lot of evil thoughts. There's really fascinating men. There are some men who are one-dimensional and just could not exist. And then, of course, you have the Shakespearean mom, which is throughout this whole Caliban's mom, she's quite a bit of a mommy dearest. Like, you could imagine her shouting that she doesn't want any more wire hangers. Oh, Joan, you cray. You can... There's revenge, there is tragedy. Okay, these people did me wrong, but the hand of God has... Or people wanting to take revenge, but finding that... I'm sorry, it is... There are some severe lighting issues, which I will work on. It's revenge, and it's wonderful in a way, because you always imagine that people that did you wrong are going to get their comeuppance. Hallelujah. oh camera, people are going to get their revenge. They will get their comeuppance. Hallelujah. Oh, hand of God. And that people who do nice things and good things are going to win in the end. They might have had a sucky time, but they're going to win in the end. And then, look, I'm sorry, William Shakespeare, but many of your good characters are so boring, it almost makes you root for the bad guy. And many of your bad guys end up being so paper thin that you're just like, I don't like anyone. I cannot in any which way, shape, or form really, I understand your motivations, but I am really flummoxed because I want to like this person or I want to dislike this person, but instead I am finding myself just a little neutral. So that is where a lot of the Shakespeare plays seem to come together for me, even if they're based on different subjects. Although there are many that are based on basically the same thing. Young love, everyone's fighting, love gets separated, no one can write letters because heaven forfend that we use our heads. Heaven forfend! Hey, I've got a great idea. But, people that should not be writing letters do. So then everything's recorded. All you have to do is take a sneaky peek. Oh, hey, this is really not good. We should trust this person. And of course, there's always that person who's like, yeah, but he seems nice. Maybe we should trust him. But this is literally him saying, I'm a complete and total jerk and you should not trust me. And then there are people who are so wonderfully out of everything or who are just so done that they just say, I bite my thumb at you. Yes, Shakespeare is for those who enjoy biting their thumb at the norms, who enjoy the blood, who enjoy the fart jokes, who also enjoy the snottiness. And there we go. So take a good look and one, always write down when you have a sneaky plan just in case people think you're dead, or not having an idea that you're planning something could cause everything to go balls up. Never write down your crimes. Bite your thumb at idiocy. It's basically the Shakespearean version of the don't kill off the dude that's extremely funny and actually likable. And if you must be evil, be entertaining about it. Don't be one-dimensional. If you must be an angel, have a little bit of fun. Be sarcastic. Enjoy yourself a little bit. I mean, it's okay to be nice to people, but also love a good prank here and there. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Don't write down your crimes, but do write down your plans. Hi, I'm not really dead. Can you come here? I haven't eaten in 3 days. You're all loved. Take good care.